Hello, hope you guys doing okay. James here. I'm going to make this video, and I've been making video about. This is going to probably be the last time I'm gonna talk about this, but I'm going to add it on with this situation of Kyrie, and I'm going to show you the difference how social media, regular media, when it comes to controversial topics about this Pearly young woman. As you know, she made a video. She made an apology video after I made about 3 videos about that. And shout out to Ringotv. I'm going to use a little bit of snippet of his, and then I'm going to go from there. And when she gave the explanation on why, she really didn't even thoroughly apologize. She didn't say in her video, "I'm sorry that anybody got offended. It was a bad mistake, and I'll try to do better," just to keep the same face with majority of the people. And the sad thing about it is that there's some people who support her still, black people, that still support her after all this, after what she said. And here's the thing about the whole situation. She knew that common sense would tell you, let me come on my mic here. Common sense would tell you, if someone's banned off of social media, you might not, to make your platform, you might not want to do that. But like someone pointed out, she's white, and it'll blow over. But this woman didn't take account. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, and this is from Ringotv. And I'm going to cut in different parts of it. And I'm going to start pretty much at the end of the video. I'm going to do a couple cut versions. I'm going to kind of edit it, because I'm not going to play the whole video. But I'm going to point out some points and he makes some excellent good points, which nobody overlooked. And she bring a known white nationalist, knowing that what he said about what he think about Jewish people, and she just kind of chuckled, and then they turn around and talk about black people, and then in front of people who are black and African. And not only that, it's used a strategy that's what some people do. They put the people from the continent of Africa at odds with the black people from America by saying the comments that she did. And that kind of put a rift between us. But luckily some of us and some people from the continent can catch stuff like this, because they've done stuff like that. And you got silly black fools in supporting this, and even though she didn't hardly even apologize and she knowing that a person who's a white nationalist. And let me tell you something, and what the guy said about the Jewish people, they made Kyrie Irving do an apology tour. All he did was share a link. He didn't say nothing about Jewish people. He just shared a link, was giving the history. But they will probably won't hold her accountable on social media, because this was on YouTube by interviewing Nish. But this is the part, she took the video down. I forgot to mention that. But some people saved the video. some people got that video before she took it down, but it's no accountability. And then it was like it was a half-ass apology. Well, this is Ringo.
All working together because they're opportunists. First thing first, their leader, Kevin Samuels, died. So it was over. They ain't have nobody else to put up on the pedestal to be the new leader. So they got a passport guy. That situation failed because after the situations he got in Brazil, his name was no more good. So they had to throw him to the side. And they said, you know what? I know exactly how to do that. We're going to put a Caucasian woman on the front line. We're going to band behind her and build her up. And what I notice is that these YouTube streets is filled with a lot of opportunities. This is why I roll solo. This is why I would never work with none of these cats. I don't know none of these cats. I don't want to know them. My job is to report the news, keep you people informed of what's going on in these streets. Now, you have a lot of content creators in these spaces that when Kevin Samuel was alive, they were talking a lot of ish about him, going off, running at the mouth, going crazy, reckless. Now you see these cats up on podcasts talking about, yeah, you know, Kevin taught me this, and Kevin taught me that. We got hypocrites everywhere. You got other people defending Just Pearly. Why? Because they're looking for their 5 minutes of fame. Because you have to think about this, fam. If you can get up on her platform, 1 million subs, it'll get your numbers up. But what's interesting about this, fam, is that she was just on. She just uploaded a video trying to be apologetic, but it's too late. The damage is already done. We got the receipts. We got everything here. We're going to play the tapes. But what's sad about this, to add insult to injury, is that I see YouTubers that are supposed to be about black culture are out here defending her. They on the front line defending her. And you got content creators that are going to be going live. That's right, live with her. So when you put all of this together, the little video that Media Tutorials put out there, oh, that was calculated. Oh, he's going to be working with Just Pearly still. Trust me, he's not going to let the bag go. That was a part of the campaign. You have to understand, they purposely did this as a publicity stunt. And she knew exactly what she did. That's why she didn't release the full interview between her and the so-called supremacist. She ain't released it on YouTube because the particular video that she made with him, it violated all types of YouTube's guidelines. Like it was all over the place. So she knew that. That's why she put it on another website. You know what I mean? But what's interesting about this, because we got some interesting receipts that we're going to show. Very, very interesting things that we want to do here. She made a video. I guess she's trying to explain herself. And what's sad about this is the black community, oh, they welcome her with open arms. And it's interesting how all you got to do is be Caucasian and, you know, act like, well, I just didn't know, and be apologetic. And all of a sudden, everybody loves you. It's crazy. So we're gonna get into this work here. We're gonna do what we gotta do. Appreciate the super chat. This is S7. Appreciate the support. We gotta talk about this. It's too many raccoons in this space. And if you notice in the images, you see the woman holding the raccoon. That's exactly how Just Pearly is holding you raccoons in the space. You guys are sellouts at the end of the day. I just gotta call it what it is. I gotta call it what it is. All of you content creators that are so-called black, you guys are sellouts, man. At the end of the day, the way I'm seeing you guys making content, defending Just Pearly, defending a Caucasian woman, with the things that she had to say regarding black people. But when you're ready, you degrade, you bash, and you belittle black women. You put black women under the bus and have every negative thing to say about black women. But when it comes to a Caucasian woman that has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, you give her a pass. Man, these YouTubers any promotion like that. It's disgusting how they make videos defending Just Pearly. Why? Because they're looking for their opportunity to be on her platform. Trust me, some of these guys in these YouTube streets, they don't care about the community. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand something about Ringo. I am an OG in the space. All these other content creators that are claiming OG, these guys are not OGs. If you weren't on YouTube from 2005 to about 2010, you are not an OG in the space. Do you understand? So stop calling yourselves an OG in the space when you're new here. You're a new student here. It's just like coming to junior high school. You're a freshman. Do you understand me? I'm a senior. Do you understand? So stop calling yourselves OGs. You were not around here during the dark ages of YouTube. So please stop it. You understand? But what's sad about this is a lot of these content creators are out here defending a woman because they want an opportunity to be on her platform. And I need for you folks in the community to understand that everybody that you see that have a black face is not really black. And they're not in support of our people. For them, it's all about the bag. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have receipts on every content creator on YouTube in terms of the things they post, the things they say. I download every video after they upload a video. I got a file on everybody. And when I tell you, I got files on content creators that have been speaking for years, basically saying that they don't care about the black community. They don't care about the community, and they don't care about this, and they don't care about that. But yet they acting like they in support of black culture, and they are in support of our people. No, they're just looking for an opportunity. Even the so-called guy Obsidian, I have a video clip with him where he literally talked about how this situation, what he's doing on YouTube, is just for money. It's just for entertainment. This is what he do. I got the actual video clip. I don't have it on me right now to show you, but I have it on file just in case people try to pull a fast one. I can bring up the tapes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with him, it's not really about our people. It's about the bag. He said this thing years ago. It's about the bag. It's not about our people. It's not about empowering black men. It's not about empowering black women. It's not about seeing our kids doing better. It's not about the future of our people. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is about opportunists who are trying their best to ride the coattail of JustPearlyThings. They're doing what they were doing with Kevin Samuels, and they're using a Caucasian woman to do the agenda. If you go to Just Pearly's platform and look at how media tutorials and reviews and Melanie King were literally going at it concerning black women and the things that they had to say, you have to ask yourself the question, are they really in support of our people? And if you look at all of the people that are really trying to defend Just Pearly Things, you would notice that they kind of fit in with Just Pearly Things. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, have you ever seen a news anchor that was a black guy, but he talked like he was Caucasian? He was very high yellow, and he kind of blended in, and they were accepting of him. Well, that's how a lot of the people are that defend Just Pearly Things. If you really think about it, if you really look at the situation, a lot of these guys are literally on her platform to bring black women down. Now, of course, black women got their problems, but black men got their problems. But what I'm trying to figure out here is this. Why is it that in the community, we as black men and women are running to a Caucasian woman's platform to discuss black issues? Why are y'all doing it? Now, another hypocrite in the space who wasn't even at Kevin Samuels' funeral made a video going at it in terms of Just Pearly Things. And he took his video down like a coward. And I don't like that. Because you know what's so sad about this, ladies and gentlemen? All of these guys that claim they're friends of Kevin Samuels, if you notice, they're really not together. One clown made a video talking about Just Pearly Things, going at her. Then he pulled his video down. Totally deleted his video. The video is unavailable, right? He's against what she did. Then you got another one, Tutorials. He makes a video acting as if though he's holding her accountable, but he already spoke to her on the phone, which means this is a business deal. Do you understand me? Because if you speak to somebody by phone, that means you already held them accountable. There's no need to come into the public. That's like if me and you have a disagreement. You said some things about me, I found about it on a podcast, and I went behind the scenes and me and you chopped it up behind the scenes. Well, if you did that, if I did that, then that means we already cleared the air at that point. So there's no need for me to come on social media and make a video telling you that you are being held accountable if I already spoke to you behind the scenes. So when you think about this, MTR claiming that he spoke to Just Pearly behind the scenes and then went online to make a video about her, that's all business. That was a publicity stunt, ladies and gentlemen. That was a publicity stunt to create public outrage. Problem, reaction, solution. You got to look at the MO. You got to look at the MO of how this thing is being played out. He did his video yesterday, but then now today, you see a video that pretty much surfaced where there's a promotion of a video where there's going to be a live stream with Obsidian and JustPearlyThings. Why? That's a part of the campaign. Another part of the campaign is JustPearlyThings just released a video trying to clear herself up on regards to what she said. All of this thing is calculated. It's a plan. It's publicity. You have to understand, with all of us talking about JustPearlyThings, we're also shouting out certain creators' names. I could really care less about all the names that I may shout out. They ain't nothing to me. And at the end of the day, when I make a video about you, it's going to impact the community. Trust and believe that. Because when I make my videos and I break them down very thorough, these people are opportunists. And they are not here to build up our people. They could care less about the black struggle. They don't care about none of us. This is YouTube. This is the bottom line with these content creators is making money. And when they went down there to the UK, you have to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Melanie King did not even show up to Kevin Samuels' funeral. She did not even participate in Kevin Samuels' birthday celebration that was on YouTube, which was another money grab. But she had time to get a plane ticket to go out to the UK to be on JustPearlyThings. Let it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let it make sense. Look, I'm just reporting the news. I'm calling it what it is. How could these people talk about Kevin Samuels as their mentor, but they didn't even go to his funeral? How could he be your mentor and your friend? You only knew him for about a few months. Let's just keep it real. Melanie King did not really know Kevin Samuels like that. And if anything, it was just for a few months. I wouldn't call knowing somebody for a few months my friend. To say he's your mentor, you didn't show up to his funeral. That's sad. And to add insult to injury, you didn't even show up to his birthday celebration. But we saw MTR and the other clowns up on there acting like they really cared. But really, none of you don't, because none of y'all attended his funeral. So now y'all appointed JustPearlyThings as the new savior in the black community. And it's interesting how Melanie King is on JustPearlyThings going at it concerning black women, putting black women down, talking about all these problems with black women. But at no point is she talking about Caucasian women. And while she's doing that, JustPearlyThings is sitting back laughing. Why? Because she loves how our people are coming on her platform to make our people look crazy. And that's exactly how you folks look. Opportunists. And this is what they do. Culture vultures. This is what they do on Vlad TV, where you have all these rappers coming up there. What do you think these people are doing in these other communities? They're using black struggles, the issues with black people, as a way to monetize. And that is what JustPearly is doing. You don't see her going up there talking about the Caucasian community and what's happening in the white community and the single mothers in that community and what baby mamas are doing and who's having this problem. She don't do that. But when it comes to you Negroes, she got you all plastered all over her page, and yet nobody is giving her any sort of public scrutiny. Nobody really cares. There are content creators that are going live right now defending JustPearlyThings. Why? Because they're looking for their opportunity to shine. That's what it's all about. But nobody is reviewing the evidence. Nobody is reviewing the tapes. And this is why somebody like Ringotv Reactions, we gotta always come out with the real, because you can't trust nobody in this space, ladies and gentlemen. Look, you the viewers, you gotta understand something. When you come to the platform, on my platform, I'm one of the realest YouTubers there is. These people in these spaces is fake, bro. They are fake. Let's just break it down. Kevin Samuels had multiple quote-unquote friends that claim they're his friends after he's dead, right? One, check this out. One makes a video going at it with Pearly Things, talking a bunch of crap about her and how she's this and he wouldn't work with white people and blah, 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 then removes the video. But he ain't make a video about MTR supporting her, being on her platform, working with her. He ain't make no video about that. He ain't make no video about Melanie King being on there, degrading black women, putting black women down and talking about black women and disparaging them. He ain't do that. But see, it's okay to talk about Just Pearly Things because she had a white guy on her channel that pretty much had his issues concerning black people and various other issues. So it's easy to target them. Do you see my point? Then you have an attorney, another hypocrite, who is going around YouTube making threats at everybody, talking a bunch of stuff, but he's supposed to be an attorney, one that practices law, but don't even know the law or the rights of the people. And he's talking about Just Pearly Things too, in terms of, well, that's your new leader, blah, 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 blah. But he's not talking about MTR. He's not talking about Melanie King. You know what I'm saying? Then you have another attorney that made a fake false statement video talking about Shanquella. I think we all know who that attorney is, where he fabricated some information that he got from overseas somewhere. And yet, what is he saying about the situation? See, this is what I mean about the hypocrites and the opportunists that are in the YouTube streets. All of these people that claim they were Kevin Samuels' friend, it's like they're all turning against one another if you really think about it, because they're all saying different things, and none of them is sticking to the script. The bottom line is they want to make money and they want to secure the bag, and by securing the bag, they got to protect the queen, and that's exactly what they're doing on the chessboard, fam. I'm telling you, I'm trying to give you guys the real. Listen, I don't think y'all understand how serious this is. Let me see if I can do something real fast. Let me see if I can do something so I can show you how serious this is, right? I didn't have this planned, but let me see if I can do this, all right?
Subscribe to Ringotv. Shout out to his channel. That's his cash app.
The volume don't go off. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna let this play so I can get into my video. I want to do something because I want to show you something, because people think that this is a game. I'm trying to show you how real this is. Serious business, man. So again, as you come into the building, be sure to click the like button, because you're not going to get nothing as real as this in these YouTube streets. Now, I want to show you something. It's interesting that the stats change, but I'm going to show you anyway, because I want you to see this just so that you can know. Now, keep in mind, the stats originally said 10, but for some reason it's saying 7 now. So I want to show you this, just so before we continue, I need to show you this so you can understand how serious this is. Right? As you can see on the screen, these are some stats for my last video that I made regarding damage control concerning MTR and how he was trying to do damage control. Notice where it says subscribers, -7. That means that 7 people unsubscribed because of the fact that I made the video trying to hold him accountable. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Right? Now, what I want you to get from this, right? Let me see if I can do this real quick. Right? So now, I want you to see how this is here. It originally said 9, which means, I think it was 9, 10. I think it was 10 the most. 10 people unsubscribed from my platform. Not that I really care. I could really care less. My point is, I made a video to hold MTR accountable for his involvement with Just Pearly. And 10 people were more offended because I'm holding him accountable, which shows the loyalty of how people are in support of culture vultures and opportunists. Not only that, I had to block members of my own platform. I'm talking about people who joined my channel membership, came into my platform, calling me a crab in the barrel for making my video to hold that brother accountable. Think about that. Think about that. 10 people unsubscribe because they're in their feelings, because they don't like the fact that I'm holding NTR accountable. All of you can unsubscribe for as all I care, because you're not a supporter anyway. And I can guarantee you the 10 folks that unsubscribe never hit the Cash App, never hit the Super Chat in their life. So who cares at the end of the day? Right? We don't care if you unsubscribe, but we're going to give you this truth, because that's what people come here for. They come here to get the truth, and that's what I'm going to pretty much preach. So now, let's get into the tapes. Let's get into the tapes. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. My apologies for not greeting everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. VW man is in the building. Appreciate everybody for showing up. We are talking about the situation with Just Pearly doing damage control and the raccoons of...
I'm gonna stop it right here, and I'm gonna take it to. Let me see if I can. Right here, and he makes an excellent point. This is her apology. Right about here.
And they don't show you no love at all. None. Let's go. Let's listen to the tape.
If she would like to come up and speak to any of this, the link is in the chat room for her only.
Wow.
I know she's got a lot of things going on. She's very busy these days. But if Miss JustPearlyThings would like to come up and speak to any of this, she may do so. The link is in the chat room for her only.
Wow. He said that a lot of times. For her only. Preferential treatment, y'all. You see how that works? Now, is he holding her accountable? Is he giving her pushback? No. He's trying to get his numbers up. And see, the thing with these YouTube streets is they really believe that if they support another content creator, their numbers are going to go up. Not necessarily. You have to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. He's supposed to be one of Kevin Samuels' friends, right? But he didn't attend his funeral. That's another content creator that did not attend Kevin Samuels' funeral. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? That man did not attend Kevin Samuels' funeral. Now think about that. Isn't that a shame? But wasn't he giving a speech on Kevin Samuels' quote-unquote birthday celebration, promoting books, but they didn't have time to go to the man's funeral to pay your respects when he's in a box? See, I'm the only content creator that is able to talk about these things. And they know who I am. Trust and believe that. Mr. Obsidian, you know who I am. I think you do that. I think you know who I am. Why are you clout chasing for? Why are you defending a woman that looks down on black people? Why are you defending a woman that had a so-called supremacist guy on her platform? You're making light of it like it ain't nothing. See, this is why our people can't grow. This is why. Rather than you guys focus on the community and building a community, it's not even about that. But then again, sir, I already done know your position. For you, it's not about the community. I have the original video that you made where you publicly said that you're not on YouTube to help anybody. You're not on YouTube to help the community, the community, or to focus on black issues. It's about making money. I have your audio, I have the videotape, timestamp, the date. I got it all. And I keep a file on everybody on YouTube because of days like this. I have those type of, I have that information on hand. But this is a sad day. But let's get back to the tapes.
And we are taking a big risk on this channel to play the interview in its entirety, but we felt that it was important in the public interest.
Notice he's taking a big risk. So you mean to tell me, sir, you would take a big risk of risking your entire YouTube channel, not knowing the consequences? Just Pearly didn't even upload the full video on her YouTube channel because she already know that the video is a problem. That's why she put it on another website. Do you understand me? That's why she put the video on another website, because she knew the video wouldn't be safe on YouTube. She knows that. And she's Caucasian, so she's supposed to know that, right? Well, how come you don't know that? See, it's sad to me how Negroes would go and sacrifice their life to defend and prove something for a Caucasian woman. So let me get this straight, sir. If, let's just say hypothetically, the video you have, not that I'm wishing anything bad on you, but let's just say YouTube watched the video and they find it to be a little over the top, and they decide to strike your channel or whatever the case is, right? Do you think that Just Pearly is going to come to your rescue? Do you think that Just Pearly is going to go on to YouTube on your behalf and say, hey YouTube, I'm Caucasian, I have 1 million subscribers, Obsidian just did a reaction video, it's within guidelines and fair use, could you please remove whatever strike or give him his channel back? You think that she's going to do that for you? She's not going to do that for you. She's not going to do that for you, sir, because she told you right there not to do it. It's right there in the text. She says, if this is the full video, you should not react to it. You will get your whole channel struck. So she already done know what's going to come your way. It may not come right now, but she knows what's going to come your way, and you don't know who she's working for. That's the thing that's crazy about this, is that a lot of you YouTubers, you really think that they got love for you, and I'm here to tell you, fam, she don't got no love for you, bro. She don't. And for you to put yourself at risk to get views, that's sad. It's like, that's desperation. Like, I would not put my entire platform in jeopardy for somebody I don't even know, number one, by playing their entire video. There's no need to play the entire video. The business channel already played the specific clips that was needed. You understand? The entire video is not even necessary. That to me is just unnecessary at this point. That's why she did put it on YouTube. She promoted it on YouTube. On her platform, she promoted the full video. Not the full video, she gave a snippet of the video. This is why I'm telling you that in media tutorials and reviews, he already knew about the video, family. He already knew about it because she had it promoted and she had the link. The link to the video, the full video, was in the description on the promotion video, and it was there the whole time, even while MTR and Melanie King was doing content in the UK with Just Pearly. So he already knew about it. That's why when I look at his damage control video, I don't buy it, because it's fake. It's marketing at best. You understand? So anyway, let's get back to the tapes. Let's go.
To have a full hearing of these issues, we don't want to do sound bites. We don't want to do clips. We don't want to take things out of context. We're going to do the whole thing front to back, in its entirety, in context. So nobody can say that we chopped it up, we screwed it, we sound all this nonsense. We didn't do that.
Listen, at the end of the day, there's no need to play her entire video. I have the full video already. There's no need. People ask me to do a reaction. I'm not doing no reaction to that mess. It's just not appropriate to do. See, I understand guidelines and I understand what is, good to do and what's not. That video is it's not even worthy of doing a reaction to. It's just not. That's why she didn't post it on YouTube. See, I'm smart. You may not be that smart. It's a little desperate to put a video on YouTube that clearly a Caucasian woman knew not to put on YouTube. That ought to be a red flag for you. You know what I mean? Like, if I were you personally, you know what I'm saying, I would have never did that. But then again, maybe your loyalty for her is greater than your loyalty for Kevin Samuels. Alright. Let's get back into this. this. Let's roll the tapes. Let's go.
And we're going to go wherever the evidence leads.
Wow.
Ms. JustPearlyThings says that she's unable to participate at this time. I'm going to put it up there. She says she's going to have to she's open to having it live tomorrow. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we're on. I normally take my Sundays off, but I'm going to make an exception here. We will set everything up. I have.
And what you've done on your platform and what you're continually doing to our community in terms of exploiting black people and black culture for personal gain, it's not even your conversation, to be honest with you. You're supposed to be talking about what's happening in your community. But see, there's no money in that. See, Just Pearly understand that there's really no money in talking about her community. There's no money in it. The real money is taking talking points from the black sector of YouTube, right? In terms of talking points from the red pill space, talking points from the manosphere, talking points from various creators, the Kevin Samuels, Lingo, and whatever the case is. She packages all up into a channel that it just exploits black culture. And that's a culture vulture, if you ask me. And that's what she's really doing. I'm just being honest. It's my honest opinion. And to be really held accountable mean that you must be canceled. It's just like if someone committed a crime, he's supposed to do the time, right? You don't just slap on the wrist and just kind of let him go. No, the damage is already done. So own up to it. Own up to it. All these people that's defending you at this point, nah, you don't need no defense on this. You knew exactly what you did. You published the video. You had time to think about it. You knew that the guy was no good. You most likely had dinner with him after the show or before the show, because if he's a guest, maybe you had dinner, probably went out somewhere, and then y'all did the show and film, showed some hospitality. So you knew it good and well what you were getting involved in. You knew the repercussions that would come. You knew it was a risky thing. You were aware of the consequences. So this video that you made, I don't accept it. I don't. And see, this is how a real man that's a content creator, a black man, is supposed to conduct himself when it comes to this issue. All you other content creators that have selective hearing, that only want to defend her because you're trying to clout chase, shame on you. Shame on you.
The next thing is, I've gotten a lot of criticism for, using the black culture and then I'm going right and leaving it, like that sort of thing. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
That's exactly what you were doing. Using black culture. Why don't you speak about your culture? Why don't you do that? Why don't you speak about the struggles that's going on with your people? Because the way I seen Melanie King put black women down, whether true or false, that should have never been done on Just Pearly's platform. And I'm kind of surprised that she didn't do that on her platform. You know what I mean? She did it on Just Pearly's platform, exploiting our people. She allowed Melanie King to say it. But how come Just Pearly didn't say it? Why she didn't utter those words? Because if you would have uttered those words, Just Pearly, it would have been public outrage. But you figure if Melanie King say it, it'll be better. And it'll come off different. No, it came off the same way as if though you said it, because it was said on your platform. Right? We're going to review that video as well. We're going to review that. But right now we're focusing on this topic here. This is a sad situation. And see, guys, this is why I always tell you why I roll solo. This is why. It keeps me from stuff like this. Nobody can say I was at their show when I did this and I did that. I don't got time for none of that.
That seems to be a big point of contention. My intention was never to be, quote unquote leader in the black manosphere. Or the
Wow, she was never intended to be the leader, but she is the leader in the black manosphere, y'all. She's the leader. Listen, I never thought in a million years that all of these content creators that are supposed to be gatekeepers, they, listen, all of these content creators in the manosphere that's supposed to be quote unquote gatekeepers, right? These guys call themselves OGs and all this other junk. They appointed this woman as the leader of the manosphere. Yo, it is bad, man. I can't believe this, man. Notice what she just said. She said she never thought she would be the leader. This is sad, man. Let's play the tape. Let me rewind that back a little bit. Let me see.
My intention was never to be, quote unquote leader in the black manosphere or the manosphere in general. I really have always just looked at the men as the leader. I mean, they're the thought leaders. Let's just be honest. And
I know that she's not married at all. She's not married. She's probably like 24, 25 years old. And all of these guys are holding her up high as though she have wisdom. She don't got no wisdom. All she doing is regurgitating the talking points that black men and women been saying in the space. And she just put it on her platform and it blew her up. Now this is what I'm trying to show you. When black people speak on these things, their channels never grow. But when a Caucasian woman speaks on these things, man oh man, a channel grows. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Let's get back to the tapes. Let's go.
I try to support them in any way I can. I bring them on my show, but
You mean you bring them on your show to clout chase, to gain subscribers, you gain their subscribers? It's really about helping you to grow. Because at the end of the day, a lot of y'all don't realize this, but when you go on a bigger channel with more subscribers, you really don't gain subscribers. Your subscribers begin to subscribe to the bigger channel. Y'all don't understand how YouTube works. The way it go is, look, when you have a content creator that is working with a bigger content creator, you really don't grow. Look at all the guys that claim they're Kevin Samuels friends. Their channels didn't grow. Their channels didn't go to 1 million subscribers. No matter how much Kevin Samuels made a shout out their name here and there, that didn't help them to grow. What happened was the subscribers of the smaller channels will go to the bigger channels. So if Kevin Samuels shout out anybody from, I guess, his clique, what is going to happen is their subscribers are going to subscribe to Kevin. Do you understand? That's how the business works. So while these guys are clout chasing, you're not really going to grow. You know what I mean? Look at the attorney guy. When Kevin passed, he's making all these videos like he's Kevin Samuels' bodyguard. All of a sudden, the channel ain't grow nowhere. Nobody don't want to hear from him. You don't got nothing to talk about. They wanted to hear from Kevin. Kevin was the one with the talent. It wasn't him. You get what I'm saying? So you're not going to really benefit. The only one that's benefiting is Just Pearly. She's benefiting from all these content creators. They're feeding her their energy. That's what they're doing. You see what I mean? They're feeding her their energy. They're sacrificing their souls, defending her, when they should be focusing on their people. But they gave another woman from another community the authority to run what was once ran by black men. Imagine the black so-called manosphere is now being run by a Caucasian woman. That's amazing. And I knew this was going to happen. I think I talked about this many years ago. I talked about how sooner or later the so-called men in the space are going to give the space over to somebody else to be the voice. And that's why tutorials, Melanie King and all of them is going to her platform. They all working with her. She's the queen. But these guys claim they rep the black woman. They don't care about us, man.
this space, you know, I feel like women follow, men lead. So I really think, yeah, that's just my opinion.
No, you are the leader in the space, not a leader of me. You're the leader of those content creators. Ain't no Caucasian women leading me. You don't ever see me holding this woman up high. You never see me promoting this woman. You never see me speaking well of this woman. Never seen that from me. Never seen me upholding this woman like, oh, I just love her videos. You never heard me do that. I told y'all from day one, you know what I'm saying, that there's a problem with her, but nobody listened to me, right? Anyway, let's get back to the tapes.
Now, the other thing was the demographic of the women on my show. Guys, I haven't done recruiting in months. So when I started, I never expected it to blow up this fast. I never in my life thought I'd have 1 million subscribers in a year.
1 million subscribers in 1 year, ladies and gentlemen. She got 1 million subscribers in 1 year for regurgitating the talking points that black men been speaking on for years. I've been on YouTube since 2006, and just this year hit 100K. That just goes to show that our people, they don't care about us. When they see somebody that's Caucasian, they believe anything they say. She's literally a Caucasian version of Kevin Samuels. You really think about it. She has all his talking points. If you look at their show, they talk about the ratings. They talk about the ratings the same way Kevin Samuels did it. You rate yourself from 1 through 10. You can't use 7. They use all those talking points. Everything. We're talking about a young lady that's not even married, in her mid-20s, no life experience. She's not in the dating world, but she got all the advice and all the solutions. I'm telling you, people on YouTube listen to the wrong people, and the wrong people become the most successful. The people that offer you no wisdom. But yet, you've been listening to my stream all this time. Where all the cash apps at? Where's all the super chats at? Where's all the monetary support to keep me in business? That's not important to you, right? Because I'm black. Do you see, ladies and gentlemen, the hypocrisy of our people? When we have men from the community that actually speak against these issues, they get zero support. But you same folks after the stream, you're going to go on over to Obsidian, you're going to watch his show, you're going to hit that cash app, you're going to hit that super chat, you're going to do what you're supposed to do for the other people. This is sad, bro. I can just imagine how all the so-called black leaders felt when they would try to help their people and got no love and no support.
I wrote my goals for the year before, and it was 100,000. I thought I'd maybe get 100K by the end of the year. Okay, that's what I thought.
Wow.
Now everything blew up so fast, and I haven't done recruiting since maybe July. The only time I have is maybe to help out if we're low on a show. So or if there's a really big panel like the Andrew Tate panel, I handpicked everyone that was on that. But in general, guys, I really don't recruit. I think one reason that there have been so many black people on the show is because the recruiter that I picked was Nigerian. And he just had the type of job that he could recruit while he went on the job.
Notice, with all the talking she's done, she haven't even talked about the real issues. All the issues that I showed you in the beginning, she haven't even talked about nothing. Do you see how she's rambling on? She's not even talking about nothing. But this is what you call holding yourself accountable. This is what accountability is. They take all of Kevin Samuels' talking points about how women don't want to hold themselves accountable and all this.
I'm going to stop that right there. But I'm going to go to this because
They make these the orange.
Tell the truth.
hold on.
Who had the nerve? No. I'm gonna say it straight up because I unlike a lot of people on YouTube who hide behind your avatars, you never show yourself.
never show your worth.
Shout out the information.
I'm talking to you. You see, I'm glad that this whole thing has happened on YouTube. As I told you all weeks ago when I did the video on Scott Adams, we should celebrate. It's good to know who your enemies are. It's good to know the wolves in sheep clothing. A lot of y'all thought Just Pearly was cool because she got black folks on the panel on her podcast, and most of them are from the diaspora, Africans, that she thinks works harder than black people in America, even though they come over here to make it and go to our schools because they can't build things up there. Then they tell black people in America, please tell us to move there so that we can help them. Well, just like the slave plantation, Negroes on YouTube will say, well, Pearly is employing black people. Black people have always been, and when have black people never been employed by white folks? Whether it be slavery when we had no unemployment, or whether it be this world that we live in where we may have to work for a corporation. So just because she's hired a few Negroes to do her post-production, isn't that interesting? Got all the black folks like little elves for Santa Claus, in this case, Pearly Claus, have all the Negroes do all the production value. How about we as black people do production value for our own channels? How about black people who are doing her editing and all these other things? How about black folks do that for black folks? How about we start sticking together? How about we do for self and stop enriching people who don't look like us, and then they act like they are a friend of us? And then she gets up there with Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist. Oh, and guess what? I like it. I like that she jumped out the window and did all of this stuff, because guess who's to blame for this? Black people who supported this Karen in the first place. You deserve your just desserts. You deserve what's happened, because Negroes are running around rocking with her. Now, I know she built her channel mainly with white people, and she'll sprinkle a dab of black people in the diaspora on her show with their English accents and such. And she gets up there with Nick Fuentes talking about minimizing black people, talking about we exaggerate what happened to us in history. And I'm a student of history. I've studied it. I knew everything she said was bullshit. As they're laughing, that's what white people do like her. Why are we all surprised on YouTube about Just Pearly? And another thing I wonder is, why is it that Negro, after Kevin Samuels was your leader, he was the man who pioneered bringing it all to the mainstream with the whole, what's that goofy little saying, high value men, even though real high value men or high value man, everybody swore by Kevin Samuels, and then you run to a white woman, and now she becomes the voice of the message, using male talking points from a female perspective. When I thought that men should never be led by women, that we should lead ourselves as soldiers. But just like rap music and jazz, white people have always taken everything that black people invent and then get some Negroes, some raccoon Negroes to help them out, to put them on top, to do all the work behind the scenes, just like white people had black people behind the scenes building the country while they enriched themselves. She's enriched herself. She's making $1 million a year. She's enriched herself. Pearly, this ugly Karen white girl that everybody's all shook up about. She's doing exactly what she is doing and what she always planned to do. Oh, she has taken that video down that Jason Black called her out for. And Jason Black, by the way, told the damn truth.
Tell the truth.
So, the video's been taken down because she knows that she's been caught with her finger in the cookie jar. But no apology, just once again, goes on as business as usual. Black people, we should support black folks. White people come into our spaces only to use and grift off of our resources, off of our information, then they repackage it and they get rich off of it. who on YouTube has gotten rich outside of Kevin Samuels off of the talking points, but the white girl gets rich off the talking points. Then you're always going to have your Negroes out there that are going to defend it because they're invested in black folks listening to these dumbass messages because they only want to enrich themselves off of it. But the difference is the white girl has one-upped you all because she's making more money than all of you. So that's just my tidbit on the Just Pearly Karen. She got caught talking cheesy, laughing with a white supremacist, and I'm going to say to y'all again, I'm glad that she did this because we always need to know who our enemies are. And I always question when white people want to come into black spaces or want to use our talking points, create a show, have Negroes doing all the work behind the scene like slaves on a plantation, prop them up, they get rich, but ultimately they got the white audience that supports them anyway. Just use Negroes for window dressing, and then we move on to other things. How about, I'm going to say this again, how about we take all the energy that we put into assisting her and having 1 million subscribers. Of course, she's got millions of subscribers from all different walks of people, but black people assisted in this matter too. Why don't we put the same energy into black content creators, right? If we're going to help her get 1,000 people watching her or more, why can't we do the same for black people? Stop being fools and twos. Just like rap music, jazz music, we always give away the franchise. Remember, this is history for some of you dummies out there. When a lot of the inventions in this country were designed and created by black men and women, but we could not get a patent because they didn't allow black people to get patents. So what did they do? They would have to partner up with some white person that could help them get the patent. And then the patent would be in the name of that white person. Then when that invention made a lot of money and went international, guess what? The white person got credit for that invention that a black person created but could not get patent for. The same bullshit happens even with content creation. Negroes, let me tell you, I'm going to keep it real with you. How about when we create something on YouTube, how about we keep it in-house? That's why I'm glad I'm not a member of any of these goofy clubs and groups on YouTube, and I'm a member of a real brotherhood that's been around for over 117 or more years. And we do real work in the community. We have real millionaires like Brother Robert Smith, and we're doing real things as a real brotherhood. And in my brotherhood, we keep everything in-house. We move onward and upward towards the goddamn light. Negroes on YouTube spend time crying and whining over a white girl who, by the way, I'm not surprised that this wench, this Karen, did what she did, and now y'all all upset about it, and I laugh at it. Because I like my racists to come right on out and tell you how they think. I like my racists to be honest, and she was honest when she said that black people exaggerate our history. Interesting, but that's what it is. So that's what happens to you when you lay down with dogs, you always will come up with fleas. With that said, let's get to the more important business of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a side note, and here we go. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It goes hand in hand with the Pearly situation I talked about, because in Detroit, let me tell you what's going on in Detroit. As you see on the title of this video today, and shout out to everybody in the chat room. Appreciate you being here. Black people are always doing the grunt work for white folks. You're going to see a video that I'm going to show you. It goes hand in hand with what I just said in my diatribe. We're always doing the backroom grunt work to keep them rich. Now in Detroit, black people are being ripped off. You're going to see how all this ties into my opening dialogue about Pearl, or whatever the hell the Karen is. You're going to see how it all ties in. Black people, no matter what neighborhood they a map. I'm going to show you this map right here. Now this map represents, this map you see is a map of Detroit. White people, although Detroit is predominantly a black city, white people make up most of the housing real estate, meaning they're buying up houses. They own homes and they're gobbling up houses from black people. We're going to get to that. You're going to see how all that is tied into the insurance.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. My tablet got hot. hate when that happened. I'm gonna go a little. This is really gonna be a little bit longer. Sorry being so long, but just I'm gonna go back to the channel. Man, I hate when that happens. It was about to go in, but yeah, and the thing about it is, she didn't even apologize. You know, she could have said, being accountable, being said, I'm sorry, I offended anybody in the community, I apologize. You know, I never intended for it to be. She didn't even say that. She even apologized. And see, when black people do something, they make us apologize. They'll shame us to death and stuff to make sure we apologize for what we do. That's what they did to Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon and different individuals. And they was still angry. And they still would let Kyrie back on the basketball team. Even though it was a separate situation, but it's the freedom of speech. And he didn't even say anything bad about Jewish people. He was just sharing a link. But Miss Pearly here decides to, Miss Pearly here decides to bring a nationalist on who says that Jewish people, it was over exaggerated, and she just like the slavery thing was over exaggerated. Wow. And then she has it's true. She got black people listen to this, and then you have what he was saying, Obsidian, trying to interview her. And I'm not even going to go to that video because he just exposed himself what he really is and what his motive was. That's sad, man. All for money. I mean, even though I've been on YouTube for even though my channel haven't grown, but I won't do something that Sambo-ish to gain subscribers. I won't do that. I wouldn't do something like that. And I know marketing and things, but that's cold-blooded. That is cold-blooded. But this bit, oh boy, that's just cold-blooded. You know, I just.
You a map. I'm going to show you this map right here. I'm going to show you this map right here. Now this map represents, this map you see is a map of Detroit. White people, although Detroit is predominantly a black city, white people make up most of the housing real estate, meaning they're buying up houses. They own homes and they're gobbling up houses from black people. We're going to get to that. You're going to see how all that is tied into the insurance, car insurance situation. As I said before, it's not only Detroit, but this is happening to black people across the country where we're being overcharged for insurance, whether we're a good driver or not. And statistically, black people are actually pretty good damn drivers. Don't let anybody tell you that we're not. Here's some statistics that you might want to take a look at. Let me read this to you right here. Living in a black neighborhood carries twice the insurance penalty as being among the 5% of most aggressive drivers. This is the type of stuff that we need to be talking about Not worrying about the white Karens of the world that's gonna do exactly what they gonna do. They gonna try to bite off our culture, like the Vlad TVs in the Adam 21s, that Negroes on the no jumper getting that white boy rich instead of making our own networks and getting each other rich. You see, Pearly don't have to deal with any of this stuff like that. Adam 21 or that Russian Vlad TV, they don't got to deal with any of this stuff that we deal with. But yeah, we want to go run and support them. Living in a black neighborhood carries twice the insurance penalty as being amongst 5% of the most aggressive drivers. Now, for some of you folks out there that'll jump out the window and say, well, that must be black neighborhoods, that's bad black neighborhoods, where black people live in poor and ratchet. No, this is happening whether you are a black person living in the suburbs, in a rural environment, or in an urban setting. You're being charged more, and I'm going to name the major, I think there's 5 major car insurance agencies that are involved in this. Now look at this right here. No incidents. Majority black, majority Hispanic, majority white, including Hispanic, majority of white, exclusive or non-Hispanic. It's funny how they make these. The orange bars represent no incidents. The light bar represents incident. As you can see, the majority of black people are being jacked up and have less incidents of reckless driving. Whereas in the lighter areas, the lighter orange, you can see where it says majority white, including Hispanics, is very high in comparison to the scale where it has black people at. Now let me go back over to this chart right here. What does this represent? The orange representing black neighborhoods, 2,100. White neighborhoods at what? 1,400. The differences is 700. The differences is 353. So the difference is that black people are paying more and being charged more in our premiums when we don't even commit half of the accidents in this society, particularly in Detroit. This is for Detroit. In Detroit. This is not just Detroit. This is all across the country. Racial inequality in car insurance prices. See, nobody's going to talk to you about this on YouTube. Negroes want to spend most of their time whining about women all day long, whining about insignificant things other than things that are really affecting us outside of cyberspace, outside of YouTube. Racial inequality in car insurance. So black neighborhoods are getting hit up for 2,100 while white neighborhoods are getting hit up for 1,000. So we're being charged $1,000 more or so. The difference is $700 in those premiums for black folks, $356 for white folks and other people that don't fall into that line. Then, as I said, fewer than 5% of drivers are aggressive. Guess who that fewer are? Black people fall under that statistic of being people who do not drive as reckless as we've been conditioned to believe that we do. See, I'm not going to have a lot of people over here today because I'm not doing anything that's sexy. I'm sure if I would have put in the title the Purdy situation, it'd be a bigger audience over here peeking in the bushes. Now, this is in Detroit. 2 places where the rates of car insurance, the premiums are very high. We got Detroit and we got Flint, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan and Flint, Michigan. What do they have in common, ladies and gentlemen? Can anybody guess? What do they have in common? Let me see. Well, you have a high black population in Detroit, even though people are now starting to flee and be gentrified out and leaving. And then you also have a high black population in Flint, Michigan, where they are just now rewarding those folks in Flint, Michigan some significant money. After all these years have passed, it was announced this week that they're going to start paying people who are impacted by what happened in Flint, Michigan, which should have been put out there, should have been recognized a hell of a long time ago. Don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? If you agree with me, hit a 7 in the chat room. A long time ago, black people should have gotten what was due them. Let me put this up here for you, as this is very important. The most expensive and cheapest cities for car insurance, believe it or not, is Detroit at $5,357. New York City is at $4,822. New Orleans, what do these places have in common? You have a lot of black people that live in these places. New Orleans, $4,222,000. Miami is at $4,222. I'm sorry. Tampa, Florida at $3,824. United States average is $1,652. Then you got Columbus, Ohio coming in at $1,038. Raleigh, North Carolina at $1,019. I'm going to stop right there because these are some of the things that we got to be thinking about. This will be a short stream today. I won't take up all your time. You see this brother right here looking very upset. He's saying, hey, what's going on? Why am I? This is the state of Michigan. This is their state flag. If you're wondering, what is that flag that he had waving earlier in the beginning of the show? That's the state flag of Michigan. This brother right here who's on the thumbnail of this video, he's not happy because he got really bad paperwork, seeing how far his insurance premiums are going up. They are hurting black people in Detroit. Let me break some things down to you. And now 60% of black people in Detroit are paying more for insurance than white people, as you see that as the title of this video. But check this out. African American drivers pay 41% more for car insurance than whites in Flint, Michigan. So they're paying 41% more. Detroit, they're paying 60% more. In good driving price, check this out. Flint's good driver price differ with Allstate. These are the companies, and I'm going to bust y'all bubble on something today. You got Allstate, Farmers, Geico, and Progressive, and State Farm. They all have commercials telling you how great their rates are. But when it comes to black people, there's a double standard when it comes to us driving a car, like this fancy car you see right there.
I have Geico.
Black drivers in Detroit, Flint, Michigan, and communities across the United States. Remember I said it's more than just Michigan. Across the United States are paying more for car insurance than white drivers, and a lot more, ladies and gentlemen. In a study, this is why I put these folks up, because black people are catching a lot of hell in Michigan, particularly in Detroit. In a study, high price of mandatory auto insurance in predominantly African American communities in Consumer Federation of America. You're going to hear me use the word CFA quite a bit. That is the Consumers Federation of America, describing the magnitude of a shameful disparity, inexplicable disparity. Now, I had someone not too long ago left me a message, and I want to see if I can find this message. This person right here, Kevin N, said they're not supposed to pay anything according to the Supreme Court. You don't need a license and registration or insurance. I'm going to end this nonsense right now. Kevin, you left a message that I believe was trolling because you don't know what you're talking about. You have to have a license. You have to have insurance to drive a motor vehicle, because you don't own that car. See, we all think that when we're driving our cars, that we own these cars. No. You contract with the state that you buy that car in. You contract with this country. And they're telling you, when you register your car, we want to know where our car is that you are driving registered. If something happens, we can get to your ass. You see, this is the rules in Michigan. Can I drive a car without registration in Michigan? In addition to proof of Michigan non-fault insurance, you must have a valid vehicle registration tab, license plate to own and operate a motor vehicle in Michigan. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
Now let's continue on. Just a little education for those who jump out the window and say goofy things like that. Is there a right to travel without a driver's? Do you have a right to travel without a driver's license in the United States of America? No matter which state you live in, you are required by law to have a valid driver's license and all endorsements needed for the type of vehicle you are driving and operating. Motor vehicle, like a motorcycle, endorsement, commercial vehicle, endorsement, etc. So let's get away from the nonsense that, oh, black folks or people don't need these things, that the Supreme Court somehow came in and said you don't have to have that. That's bullshit. Right here, Detroit, Michigan car insurance rates versus top United States metro car insurance rates. Chicago is at the top there, but look at their numbers: 378. Houston, Texas, 398. Los Angeles, 445. New York, 624. You see that? State average is 875,500. But Detroit, they're coming down on people at 2,192. And who is the biggest? Who is impacted by that the most? What did I just show you on the map here? Black people, black neighborhoods are taking the bulk of that expensive insurance policies that's running down. You got Geico doing this, Allstate, Farmers Insurance, Progressive, State. They all are gouging black people, not only in Detroit, in Flint, but all across this country. And Negroes are running around here saying that we don't need reparations. Oh, won't y'all stop complaining about reparations and things of that nature?
Tell the truth.
Don't tell me that black people are not being disenfranchised in one way or another in this country currently today. Negroes like to jump out the window and say, well, how are you going to prove that your family? You can prove within what's going on today. This is very important that we understand this. We got politicians, whether it be Democrats or Republicans, telling us to vote for them, that they're in our best interest, but yet they're letting these insurance companies run rampant because the insurance companies have these politicians in the back of the pocket. These white companies will use black people as front men to promote to us this is the best company that we should support. Let me give you right here. This is Dennis Haysbert. Remember Dennis Haysbert, the actor? Here he is right here. This brother is the one who does those Allstate commercials. See, they use someone that looked like us to promote to us a particular product or company. He's making money. He's making thousands and millions of dollars, whatever the money he's making. I'm sure it's a lot of money to promote these Allstate commercials. And Allstate is one of those companies that's bleeding us. Check this out. Good drivers living in if you are a good driver, particularly in Michigan and across the country, if you are a good driver, predominantly African American communities, where more than 3/4 of the residents are African American, will pay on average 70% more for state mandated minimum liability only coverage than a similar situation driver in a predominant white community. So that means we're going to pay 1,060 versus 622 for white people. They're going to pay 622. Once again, Allstate, which this Negro right here promotes, you see it on the Super Bowl. He promotes Allstate commercials. I wonder if this actor, Dennis Haysbert, I wonder if this brother knows that he's been promoting commercials. And I thank you all for coming in. I didn't expect it to be a large crowd over here today because I'm not talking about only the Purdy situation, right? It's not exciting. It's too much education here. I wonder if he knows that he's been promoting and getting paid by a company. Once again, a black man. So when black folks on YouTube say, well, she ain't racist because she employs black people. Doesn't Allstate employ this black actor and pay him well to sell a product to our people that they're ripping us off on? Hello? Just because somebody's white and they're employing black folks, that don't mean nothing. They're just, let me let you in on a secret, some of the dummies on YouTube. And just so you know, Black Lives Matter, we already know that Black Lives Matter ain't a legitimate black organization. Most of us who got sense ain't rocking with it. But to the dummies on YouTube, listening in the clouds, he's employed by a white company called Allstate. And they're one of the biggest predators to the black community in terms of overcharging us when it comes to insurance compared to our white counterparts. And so, that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter if the white people hire you. The whole goal is to griff off of black people, enrich themselves, just as Purdy has been enriching herself on YouTube. By all, she's got a large following of people that are white, and most of the people in her comment section are white, right? She's enriching herself off of those goofy Negroes that follow her, promote her, send her videos, promote her. And the black people that get on her show and her podcast, they're just as dumb as air in their head. But same thing, this brother is making good money. And most of you Negroes will say, oh, he's employed and he's making money, but he's promoting a company that is laughing at us. A company that is ripping black people off financially. That's what he's been doing, whether he knows it or not. A significant study showed that the price disparity between black drivers, see, some of y'all in the YouTube streets don't want to hear any of this lesson, but you're going to get truth from me whether you like it or not.
Tell the truth.
Significant studies showed that the price disparity between black drivers and white drivers persisted regardless of whether the community was urban. Remember I said that earlier in the show? So some of you out there are going to say, well, it's because these are black people who live in poor communities where economics is bad, so that's why they getting ripped off because they're not educated enough to know. No. They are doing this to black communities that are in the urban environment. Regardless, significant study shows that the price disparity between black drivers and white drivers persists regardless of whether the community was urban, rural, or upper middle income. It does not matter. So for black people out there that'll jump out the window and say, oh, see, because info, you only talking about that's poor black people who don't have education, they didn't go to college, so they don't know that they're being ripped off and their premiums and all of that. No. They're doing this to black people of all economic and political classes. This was happening in Detroit, and it's also happening all across the country. And it's funny that the government don't say nothing about this. Nobody's calling it out in the Biden administration. None of these Republican Klan members are doing the same thing either. Auto insurance prices are 60% higher in the predominant black urban communities than in predominantly white urban areas, as I said before. In the urban communities, good drivers' average premium in predominant African American zip codes is greater than 75%. Greater than 75%. African Americans is 60% higher than the average premium. Equally dense, predominantly white urban zip codes. So we're saying 1,797 for black folks, 1,126 for white folks in these particular communities. And then you wonder why this brother right here has this look on his face. This brother is not happy about what he's seeing in his paperwork as he's looking it over. And this is what's been going on in Detroit, and it's happening in other urban settings across the country. And then we got the Allstate man, the black man. These white companies will say, let's get us a Negro, let's get us a black man, so that we can continue to be predatorial towards black people, get him on them commercials and have him talk about how promote our product as being so fair and great rates. And little do they know, we're going to charge those black folks more than we charge everybody else. And you tell me that we don't need reparations in America. Drivers in predominantly black rural communities. Now, let's break down the black rural community as you see the brother driving there. Drivers in predominantly black rural communities pay 23% more for auto insurance than drivers in predominantly white rural areas. So even in the rural area, black people are paying 23%. So it's going across all economics and landscapes. In rural zip codes, the average good driver premium in predominant African American zip codes is 23% more than the average premium in rural, predominantly white communities. Guess what? So black people in rural communities are paying $679 more for their insurance policy. White people at $542. Now, check this out. Good drivers in predominantly black. We gotta be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta be honest here. Good drivers in predominantly black upper middle class. See, it breaks it all down. Here comes the upper middle class. Good drivers in predominantly black upper middle class. They ain't just middle class. They talking about upper middle class income communities pay car insurance prices that are 194% higher than predominantly white upper middle class communities. The average good driver premium in upper middle class communities where medium household incomes range between $63,000 and $100,000, predominantly African American zip codes, is 194% higher than the average premium charged to similar situations. Drivers in upper middle income, predominantly white zip codes, are paying less. You know what they're paying? $717. Black people, $2,113. As for Michigan, the CFA study concluded, which is CFA is the Consumer Federation of America. The disparity of premium is more than 50%. Premiums. Insurance premiums. The disparity of premiums is more than 50% in Detroit and more than 40%, as I said before, in Flint, between predominantly African Americans and predominantly white zip codes. Important that the CFA also identify car insurance problems that we have in Detroit, where you have housing markets that have plummeted. People are coming in to buy these homes, and they're even buying homes like this that black people live in. Well, we're going to get to that too, because that's another dynamic to this. The CFA also identified car insurance companies for whom price disparities between good black drivers and good white drivers exist. So I always thought, ladies and gentlemen, that I was always taught that if you got a good driving record, tell me if I'm wrong or right by putting a 7 in the chat room. If you got a good driving record, that you're supposed to get a discount on your insurance, right? You're supposed to get a good driving record. You're supposed to get a good score. You shouldn't get raked over the coals. Well, whether you are a good driver, because I know somebody out there going to say, well, these are black people who are not driving their cars properly and they're crashing. No. If you are a black driver and you have a great driving record, you still get raked over the coals by these companies. All of them: Geico, Progressive, Allstate, Farmer. You're still getting raked over the coal, whether you have a good driving record or a bad driving record. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
This is a damn shame. The Consumer Federation of America study found that among the 30 metro areas throughout the country,
Sorry being so long.
throughout the country, with the highest differences in auto rates between predominantly white and predominantly African American communities, to Michigan areas were in the top 10. So Michigan as a state was in that top 10 throughout the country of countries with very high, states with very high insurance. Now I had showed you a graph that sort of picked up on that. There go that graph right there. Detroit, New York, New Orleans. New Orleans got a lot of black folks. Doesn't surprise me. Columbus, Ohio, Greensboro, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. But the highest ones are in red: Tampa, Florida, Miami, New Orleans, New York City, and Detroit. Why is it that Detroit is so high, ladies and gentlemen, yet they've got a lot of flight people leaving Detroit? Their economic base isn't that great. They're taking homes away from sisters like this. This sister right here is standing outside her house. You can be in your house in Detroit and somebody can be doing an auction on your house, buying the house from under you while you're living in the house. I did a video about this in the past. I'm bringing it back right here today. You're going to see this video. And you've got black people who are assisting, just like Purdy. Just like Negroes on YouTube talk about Purdy got black people that she's employed. Yeah, well, in this video I'm going to show you same thing. The father, the white man and his son are buying homes that black people live in because the city of Detroit over-assessed their property, overcharged them. And just like Purdy's got her legion of black folks that are working for her, according to Negroes on YouTube, she got people working for her. She more black than all of us on YouTube. She more black than me and you. I'm going to show you a video where, like I said, a black man and his son, a white man and his son, let me correct that, a white man and his son are auctioning and buying the homes, undercutting black people in a market that's screwed up because of Detroit. Poor leadership. And don't just say, well, it's because of black leadership. No, you got white folks that run Detroit as well. Black folks ain't got that much power politically in Detroit, in any damn place in this country, as much as we think we do. And so, guess who they have helping them? Guess who they're employing? They're employing black people who are sitting at the desk while they're auctioning and buying these homes from black people, and knocking on their door saying, hey, by the way, we just brought your house. What do you mean you brought my house? This is why you got black folks in Detroit who have this look on their face. What do you mean you just brought my house? Well, we just brought your house in an auction, Miss Jones, Miss Johnson. You got two options here. You can either move out, or you can be a renter in a home that you thought you owned that we bought from under you because we're sorry that Detroit, the county, has undervalued you and overcharged you in fees that you couldn't afford to pay because they overcharged you, they overassessed your home. But by the way, we just brought it, and you're gonna rent from us, or you got to get out. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
That's the truth, brother. While we're on the YouTube streets crying about Pearly, Negroes all shook up about Jason Black's revelation about the woman. I seen the whole video. She took it down, folks. Let me let you know. If she didn't have anything, look, she didn't have no problem with that video until she got pushed back by Jason Black and those who agreed with him. But prior to that, she kept that video up proudly. Then there was an Instagram, and I'm going to say shout out to the real Dana because she played it on her channel. She had a TikTok video where she talked about how she used to work, she used to sell machines, or I don't know, washing machines, I don't know. And she says, I want to thank you all because you all have made me rich. She took that down. That's not on her TikTok anymore. So she's already trying to duck and hide. But my point is that here you got white men buying out homes and impacting black people in Detroit. This happened. And using black people to sit at the desk, because why? Because they're paying them some money to do it. And they're gladly buying the homes of black people, putting them in a bad situation, and these white men are getting rich off of it, and they're employing black people. So that gets to my theory again. This white folk, when have white folks not employed black people? And they've employed us, and we're still racist. We built this whole goddamn country, and they still been racist to us. We built this whole goddamn country while they've given everybody else reparations and given us nothing. And then we got these fake intellectuals on YouTube, black folks who want to go to bat for the white girl, for the wench, for the Karen, who tells us that our history, that we exaggerate our history and laugh and kiki and ha-ha when a white supremacist on the stage. And she's ugly as all get out. I mean, my God, man. Y'all done lost y'all mind if this is the person that y'all want to support and use as your leader of the message. My God, this is when male leadership has failed again. When you need white women, or you allow them to thrive in the space and get more popular, because she can throw a sprinkle of black people in there and make it look like a bowl of Raisin Bran cereal. When you get to the bottom of that cereal and you just got milk and you just got a couple of little raisins in there, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'll challenge anybody on YouTube to debate this wench. I call her that, yes. I'll debate anybody. But it would be a waste of my time and breath to argue with the illogical. I'm making this point because you're going to see a video today that's going to really blow your socks off. I appreciate you, all of you who have come in. Please share the video out. I know I wasn't going to get a lot of views on this one, or a lot of people coming over, because it's not a sexy topic. It's a reality topic that we should be focusing on, because we're all, at one level or another, we're all probably affected by this and don't even know it in our own communities where we come from. Let me show you something. You say, well, where can we get a fair deal? The cheapest car insurance companies in Detroit, Michigan, because I believe in, now they say right here it's Progressive, 171, but Progressive is one of the groups amongst the 5 that's been overcharging black people. So you got Progressive, you got Auto Owner at 197, you got Frank Mall at 253, Farmers Bureau at 394, State Farm at 752, and they're one of the ones on the list that are destroying or raping over the coals of black motorists. Once again, let me name all 5 companies, Allstate, that has their black mascot to tell us to get the damn Allstate. Using black actors, and Malcolm X already told us never look at entertainers as our leaders. You got farmers, Geico, Progressive, and State Farm. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let's come back over here. Average is another insurance company. Thank you, the real Aaron Collinsing. Awesome information, facts, brother. Thank you, thank you.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
What I'm gonna have to do for dear Aaron Collins, thank you. We got God's little princess, Empress Goddess. We got brother Jay in the house here. Golden.
I'm gonna cut this video short, but you can probably go to his channel, Information Man channel. Shout out to him. Cause this video is going long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but I just want to show you what's going on. I'm tied to the Pearly situation, but today is Sunday, so whenever you watch the video, go Information Man and Ringotv and go and support their channel and give them a shout out. If you choose to want to subscribe to me too, that's fine. Yeah, that's true. What he was saying, but that's cold-blooded, man. And like I said earlier, she didn't even apologize. She just didn't take no accountability. But yet, someone who gets banned off an NBA team like a Kyrie Irving, you have Nick Cannon, who had his show taken because he said something about the Holocaust. They took his money away and everything and punished his show. But yet you have someone like, then she writes someone like Nick Fuentes, who been banned off of every social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, and she brought him on there after saying some insensitive comments about, and she knew what she was doing. Why would she bring somebody fly them over to England to do that? You know his history. You gotta do some kind, but she played stupid. Why would she do that? Then she kind of walked down upon it, and then she's like, "Oh well," she ain't say, "I'm sorry to the black community," you know, to the African community. I mean, she didn't even say it like that, but she kind of, she's that type that have us button heads with the African community. Then they sit back and laugh at. And that's what some people do. And that's some bull crap. But yeah, but I'm glad Ringo kind of brought some things out. I didn't play his whole video, but it was kind of long. But it's sad about who supported her. It's the cop, and who was gonna stand back no matter what. We all about the dollar. We don't give a damn about our people. We don't give a damn, basically. We all about that dollar. And now they about now I don't know what's gonna happen to their channels after this, but they've been exposed and on the black sector YouTube. Not a good look. That's not a good look. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video because I'm sorry it ran so long with the interruption and the tablet cutting off, and then the clock can keep going, and I get the rest of and so some good information on insurance. So if you're a black person in Detroit or any of these major cities, now you know. I got Geico. I didn't even know about Geico doing that. I think after next month, I'm going to find another insurance company. If they doing something like that, that's cold-blooded. So hopefully this will help you, go to another insurance company in your city, your state. Now that you know, if you're African American and you're watching this video. Alright then, I hope you have a good evening. Till next time, I'll see you on the next video. And hope it's been a pleasure. And take care.